And I think we're live. Hello, everybody. How are we all? Good to see you. Good to see you. 6 viewers at the moment. Hoping that that fills up. I'm just going to bring up the Discord actually. Now that I've got no more use for OBS. FAS discussion. There we go. Right. How are we all? Let me just refresh this because sometimes the comments can go a bit funny. There we go. I do apologise. So, welcome to the second of the preliminaries for Fight a Subscriber. Today we are looking at the F69 Riptide by Evolution Brick, the YMF-1 by Thunderbird, the FA3 Wyvern by Rai the Science Guy, the JAS-69 Urnen by Axel Stromgren. There's a Nordic name for you. The K2 Centurion by Titan RT, and the LF-15 by Jove. I've got the right accent for that, haven't I? The LF-15 by Jove. Good to see you, Leg of Luck. Hello, Chronic Titan 23. Right, so let's waste no more time. How many people have we got? Still just the 6. Let's see how many people drift in as a thing goes. Yes. Yes, lots of submissions with the number 69 in them. So first up, it is Evolution Brick's F69 Riptide. As per usual, I'm asking you for your comments, your thoughts, your opinions on the craft we're featuring today. It does have 2 of the ECM jammers, so it'll be interesting to see how this one performs. It took it up earlier for a little bit of a test flight. It is hyper maneuverable, super maneuverable, I should say. But as we've seen, that's not always a good thing. It is very sleek. I'm just making some notes actually. That's not how you spell maneuverable. Childish. Nothing wrong with a little bit of childish humour. I think it's gorgeous. Yeah, slapped her. It is a good-looking craft. I do have to say it is a good-looking craft, and there is nothing wrong with a bit of childish humour. What was I about to say? I've completely forgotten what I was about to say. Anyway, I haven't taken a look at the armament. It's gone quite light on the missiles. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sidewinders and 3 AMRAAMs. Let's see if that's enough. It is armed with, let's see, 2 Vulcans. Yeah, should be good. Should we get this first one going? We've got to do 5 of these, so may as well. And as ever, I have forgotten to turn my desktop volume down. That's better. So let's get these guys into the air. Oh, for goodness sake. Using the Saturn afterburning engines, of course. And as the opponents, we have, as ever, Legged Lack's rebalanced, retweaked, retuned Cyclones. Well, my Cyclone was Legged Lack has retuned, rebalanced, and etc. You know what I mean. F5. I forgot to F5. I have it saved anyway, so it's not going to be a huge issue. I am going to have to. Radomes are on. Just going to take me a few minutes to warm up. Just don't mind me. So missiles away, missiles incoming. There's an explosion. I don't think anyone's been harmed. That is another missile, I think. No debris. No, nobody's copped one to the face just yet. Valentina Kerman pulling a hard turn in her F69, launching an AMRAAM completely the wrong direction. I'm adjusting the radar for some bizarre reason. You guys last time requested that I move this a bit, so I'm going to remove that a bit. And that is one of the F-69s. Oh, heavily damaged, but still hanging in there. A missile incoming now, though. Just about dodges that. The other F-69 Riptide. Yeah, still in rude health, no problems there. And that's one of the Cyclones gone. Missile to the face, and it is no more. And that looks like the other F-69, not quite as manoeuvrable as it could be, thanks to that earlier missile. It looks like it's now suffered a grim fate, but here we go. The F-69 and the Cyclones. Looked like it was going for a bit of a joust there, but sadly not. So that it is 1 kill, 2 deaths, 1 loss and no victories for the Riptides. Where was it? Yeah, I should F5 really. That was last week's. There we go. Just retuned retweet version coming up. I can't change the craft at the moment because it has to be a fair and consistent challenge for everybody. So we'll be sticking with this version of the Cyclone for all of the preliminaries, just to maintain that consistency. Oh God, it's hot in here. I've got the windows open and everything. Right, so yes, everybody is looking good. Nobody's turned the wrong way. They're not quite as spaced out as I was hoping. Okay, remember to F5 this time. Where is Evolution Brick? Is he not here today? Gets a hit 0. Yeah, yes. I'm impressed. Nice. No for championship. That's what she's... Oh dear. Let's get the second one going. We've got to get 5 of these down for this craft, and then we've got 5 more craft after this. Tactical boop. A friendly hug. Doesn't look like the Cyclones have done any booping. No, we're all good. God, it is warm. Need more fluids. There we go. Valentina shooting a missile in completely the wrong direction, but manages to get another one away. This time towards the front. I think some of those AMRAAMs can actually occasionally, if you've got a lock, they will actually... I'm just going to check. Yeah, okay, the rate... That's not... Oh no, shit! ECM jammers were not on. I was looking at the radomes. I apologise for the language there. It's got 2 radomes, and that's why it can fire. That's why it's firing its missiles backwards. Gotcha. Sorry, so we're going to have to, not like last time where we have to do an entire craft all over again. No, this time we just make sure everybody's set up, and we just go again like this. Hang on, the ECM jammer is on now. Well, I'm confuzzled, I don't know about you. Let's just see what happens. Why did you just switch those up? Oh, for goodness sake. I don't know what it's tied to. It doesn't want to have... It's an electric charge issue. How is that? Yeah, they activated, but it appears to be an electricity issue. So if I just turn them on again. Okay, now it's just about managing it. Now it's not managing it at all. I don't know what to do here because... Infinite electricity on? Do I just put one of the ECM jammers on? Of course, now the engines are fired up. I'll stick one of them on because otherwise that is just going to run out. We'll keep going. We'll avoid the first fight, but we will carry on with this one. Okay, so for the first time, for the second time, the F-69 Riptides, yeah, as I said, very manoeuvrable craft. They've got that hyper manoeuvrability, which can see them lose a bit too much speed, and I'm not entirely surprised they both fell to missiles, and yet another one has fallen to missiles in this particular fight. Just, yeah, look at the electric charge there. That's I think you're right. I think beyond a certain point it has to be seen as a design choice to just, oh, that's a scorching, not to carry a battery, not to carry that extra weight. So I think we're just gonna have to say, yeah, you'll have to make do with the one. And now you'll have to make do with the none. So that's still a loss, but that's no kills. Okay. Yeah, so a bit of vulnerability to missiles. As I was saying in the Discord, yeah, I think Legged Lax started a trend, or Legged Lax claiming to have started the trend. There's a lot of craft with the number 69 in them at the moment. Okay, officially fight number 2 starts then. So yeah, we've got 2 craft here today with the number 69 in there, so I said that earlier though, didn't I? I think it might have changed or something. The way double patching can be significant. Yes. Here we go. Let's just make sure each of them has one of their braided dark ECM jammers turned on. Hopefully it helps them out with the missiles a bit, because that was not good. But yeah, they can pull some very hard turns. Not doing so as much at the moment. Getting a good little missile evading run there, perpendicular to the direction of the missiles' travel. Coming about now, stripping off a lot of that speed, getting a bit too head on to those missiles, but gets away with it this time. Missiles still going back and forth. Is everybody okay? Yep. Looks like both of the Riptides still in one piece. Dodging a missile there again. Now, these do not have a lot of missiles. They're sort of down to their sidewinders already. few explosions there, not the other Riptide. That was just missiles missing and exploding. That sounded a bit more significant, but it wasn't. Still more missiles just exploding as they missed. That is one of the Cyclones. Missile to the face, it is out of here. So for this second fight, it is advantage Riptides. Can they capitalise? Oh, Richmond Kerman's Riptide gets scorched again, is missing some bits, but is still flight-worthy. And now Jebediah Kerman's... his vehicle's been scorched as well. Missing all control surfaces save for the tail fin, and without the ability to pull up, will surely, very shortly, just nosedive into the ground like a lawn dart. Yeah, trying desperately to pitch up, but it doesn't look like it will be to any avail. Okay, interesting. Two jammers, yeah. You're not wrong. How are we doing? 11 viewers, 5 likes. Thank you very much, everybody. Good to see you here. Thank you very much for the likes. So 2 kills, 2 deaths, 1 win, 1 loss. Right, so we are going to do this one. I was about to say we'll do this one from the vantage point of the Cyclones, but I'm just going to stick with the Riptides until the fight starts, just so we can make sure the those jammers are on. Because you see, they have been set up so that they will turn on automatically. So as I said, I'll turn one of them on for Evolution Brick, but if it turned 2 on and they're just going to keep turning off again, there's not really much point. Let's wait for the competition to start. There they go. Let's have a look at this one from the Cyclones. I kind of started doing this, like doing the middle fight of the 5 as from the Cyclone's vantage point. Braking low, looks like they'll have no difficulty dodging those missiles. Okay, good stuff. How will this one go? It's been all missile kills so far today. Hopefully we will see some up close and personal gun action before too long. If not with this craft, then with some of the others. There's some there are some interesting beasts out there. Cyclone still avoiding missiles without much difficulty. Might be a little too tail on to that one though. Maybe a little too face onto that one. Blown out of the sky. Daffy Kerman now. More missiles rain in on Jebediah Kerman. That is not a dignified way to go. Daffy Kerman turns around, gets away 2 more missiles. Might be able to salvage something from this. As I said, those Riptides have been vulnerable to missiles, but doesn't happen this time. Launches 2 more. Nothing doing there either. You've got a load of missiles, Daffy. Did you not fire any in that opening salvo? Now it looks like we will get some guns, though. Has to come about hard. I don't think she'll be able to outdo the Riptides in raw manoeuvrability. No, look at that. The Riptide just comes straight back around. Gets on her tail. Breaks off for a second. Missile coming in! Oh, it was a brutal 1-2. And they're still going. One craft distracts her with the guns, the other craft just finishes her off with a missile. Okay, let's just get this this fourth fight started. I've never seen a craft so power thirsty that it can't sustain 2 ECM jammers before. I think it might have something to do with the 2 radomes. But that is, that's Evolution Brick, if you're watching this back later, that is impressive. How are we doing? 6.5 kilometres, 7 kilometres, 7.5. There we go. Engines spool up. We can turn those ECM jammers on. And watch more murder mayhem. Richmore Kerman breaking off. Trying to avoid those missiles. Valentina Kerman sort of splitting low. Still popping those countermeasures. I don't think they've gotten a second volley away. Does get a bit too face onto that missile, but I think Richmore Kerman's gotten away with that. The Cyclones have the Riptides on the rope a little bit at the moment. Richmore manages to dodge that missile without much difficulty, though. Doesn't seem to have any missiles coming in for him at the moment. Nope. Tell a lie. 2 right there. And yet still they come. Does manage to loose a missile of his own, though. Valentina Kerman over there looks to be in similar amounts of trouble. That looks like something of a hit. Doesn't appear to be any damage, certainly nothing terminal if there was. Valentina Kerman coming about. Select guns. Has to pop countermeasures, more missiles coming in. And it looks like it's the Sidewinders this time, and they are going to be very difficult to dodge at that range. And the F-69 just gets shredded. Oh, this is glorious. Richmore Kerman now. It's the Riptide's turn to face the guns and missiles 1-2. And I think that will be a Sidewinder. And you don't survive many of those from close range. Okay, final fight for the Riptides. And then we move on to the YMF-1 by Thunderbird. So how's everybody doing today? Not slowly melting like me, I hope. I've got both the windows open, but doors shut and the computer running full pelt. It's like my own little heater. Let's get this one going. Do tell me if there's something wrong with the stream, volume levels, if you want me to move any of the windows, that sort of thing. Just going to lose the window a second. Oh! Tactical boot incoming! That was a bit more than a boot. Get a room, guys. Let's restart that. And I'm just going to refresh the stream window. Good stuff, good stuff. Seems to be taking a while. No, we good? I think we're good. Okay, let me just check. Can you just face that way a bit more? Okay. hopefully things go a little more smoothly this time. Green Lightning, hello! Everybody who I haven't said hello to, Kaizen65, I think I did you, Joshua Lee, anybody I've forgotten. How are we doing? Let's get ready to turn on these ECM jammers for one last time. And as per last time, wait for those engines to spool up and then turn those on. Okay, round they turn. Rich Kerman gets another missile away. I'm not sure having a backwards pointing radome has really helped out this craft. I have seen AMRAAMs fired in the wrong direction and then turn around and actually acquire the correct target and go in the right direction. But I mean, that one, yeah, that didn't work so much. Rich Kerman now not got any. You're not got any. No, you're out of AMRAAMs. Yeah, some interesting design choices with this craft. Certainly, I think there's room for some optimizations. But this is the version that was submitted. It hasn't done badly. Missiles are still going back and forth. Rich Kerman kind of needs to close the distance, or at least just keep going, keep popping those countermeasures, keep perpendicular to those incoming missiles, and hopefully the distance will close that way. Has switched to the sidewinders. This could be the point at which the fight turns. Oh! But unfortunately, the Cyclone got there first with the sidewinders. It's all on Valentina, but Valentina looks to be in a very good position and is slowly disassembling one of the Cyclones. Daphne Kerman's craft is in a sorry state, as one of the Riptides just goes flying past. Yeah, that's not looking good for Daphne, missing the control surfaces on the wings. Basically, yeah, once again, it's another Cyclone that's just down to its tail fin. I'm not sure if that Riptide is coming in for this craft. Sidewinder comes in. Riptide, I'm assuming, will now refocus its attention on that other Cyclone, but the Cyclone that still has the longer range missiles. No, I think those are the Sidewinders. And at this range, that can be problematic. Valentina gets one away. Maybe a little too close, but we'll now get the advantage here. On the tail of that Cyclone. A little bit of damage there. Scorched. Nothing major. That's a little bit more major. Disappears from the vessel switcher. And it is another victory for the Riptides. Valentina Kerman isn't finished yet, though. She knows it's Jeb in that craft, and God bless them, the friendly little rivalry going on there. So, what are we looking at there? 6 kills, 5 deaths, 3 wins, 2 losses. Let's move on to our next craft. Mouse is just playing up a bit. Right down the bottom there. There we go. Oof, oof indeed. So next up we have the YMF-1 by Thunderbird. So once again, please do tell me what you think of the craft once it loads. I do like the way the orbits on this little loading thing work properly on KSP, because on Stellaris they don't. The outer ones travel faster, and that annoys me. So here it is, the YMF-1. It's a sleek little craft. It's a single Panther-engined craft, which is perhaps a little brave, but let's not write it off just yet. It does not have any ECM jammers, we don't need to worry about that. Let's get all the engines started. And then we can F5 it. And let's get this one going. Your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, please. Is there any kind of tracker you have for the preliminary scores? Love the tail. I do not at the moment. YMF1. It's a good looking craft, and it's not exceptional. Everybody turns, everybody goes to get missiles away. Valentina launches one, has to break off. Did she get two away? She did get two away. Sorry, distracted slightly. It looks like, yes, it looks like Valentina Kerman's craft will dodge successfully. But not Richmond's craft. Richmond's craft is now a cloud of debris. That single Panther engine may be struggling a bit to keep it in. Oh, that's not a good move. That's not a good move. That was a little too tail end on to that missile. And I'm afraid for all the YMFs, it's a clean sweep for the Cyclones. Moving on. Federico Fassetti, hello to you. 13 concurrent viewers. 6 likes, thank you very much for that, guys. How's everybody doing? So I'm just, if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at the Discord. I think everybody's ready to get going again. So let's get going again. Next regular KSP video will be coming shortly. Just needs a few finishing touches, but that will be with you soon. And next week, of course, we've got the next of the Skyrim videos. And I'm not sure about next week. I was thinking next week the first of the proper episodes of Season 3, but I'm still doing a little bit of experimenting with my own craft at the moment. So I just doing a bit of experimenting with that, just so I get the final versions of the 3 craft that will be that will comprise the gauntlet that the subscribers will have to endure. Missiles going back and forth. I think this could be a very good craft, but I think that single Panther engine doesn't give it a lot of room for error. It doesn't. I don't think it has the power to sort of get out of trouble very quickly. Where it's doing there, the little turns, I get a little nervous for it every time it does one of those, because it's either getting a bit too face on or a bit too tail end on. And that's when the craft are really vulnerable to missiles. It starts to turn now. Turns back again though. That looks like, yeah, it's a 1-2 on the other YMF1. And once again, it's 2 on 1. I like this craft. It's got a bit of, I'm not quite sure what. And after 2 missiles that came very close, the next 2 came even closer, and I'm afraid that's the YMF1 done for this fight. So 2 clean sweeps for the Cyclones. Yeah, I'll have to get some sort of tracker going. The other thing is, it's not just the results of this fight. It's going to be a little bit of my judgment involved as well. It's not just purely the score they manage in those terms. For this one, we'll stick with the Cyclones. See, look at the fight from their perspective. So I'm not sure if a tracker as such is all that appropriate. Thank you to everybody who's been participating in the channel recently, by the way, especially with these streams and everything else. We are, I think it's 104 subscribers over the last 30 days, according to Social Blade, and what else was there? Yeah, so we're currently in the 23rd month, and it's 89 subscribers within that. It's just nuts. The previous record was 75. Daffy Kerman turning it around hard. Jebediah, it looks like, is already on the case, well out in front of her actually. But these Cyclones, they tend to actually sort of break low to avoid missiles in unison, but they haven't done this time. Jebediah Kerman is looking a little face on to those missiles, but hasn't suffered any consequences of it yet. 2 Panther engines as opposed to 1. They will be able to get themselves out of that a little easier, although I think it is a heavier craft. There's some explosions there. I think that's one of the YMFs. YMF-1 just down to, yeah, shredded. So it's Valentina Kerman's craft. I'll be trying to avoid all those incoming missiles. See, just with the 1 Panther engine, they're not going far past its tail as it is. Those 2 come very close, too close. This is a shame, because this craft, I don't think this craft is that bad. I genuinely don't think this craft is that bad. I think it's got, I don't know how to put it. It's a nicely designed craft. It handles well. When I was test flying it earlier, handles well. It's got something in its locker, but it's just not showing it here. I can't wait to see the final results. Will you do a breakdown of how everyone scored, or just the 12 that make it? It's those Scott Manley subs. Yes. Thank you very much for everybody who's been pushing the channel on Runway Project. That's that is certainly. Although I'm sure Scott Manley has sort of rekindled interest in the whole BD Armory thing as well, which I'm sure has helped. It's not a bad looking craft, is it? It's a nice looking craft, some interesting design choices. I just Thunderbird, this is my first ever submission from him, and if this is your first submission, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you might produce for us in future seasons. Okay, all craft taking off. Nobody drifting into each other. I think we're all good. So the 4th fight for the YMF-1s. How's the relation between COM and COL? It's COM is actually quite far in front of the COL, but it's got the wing surface to cope with it, to actually turn it fairly quickly. But then, of course, that induces quite a lot of drag, and that slows it down, which, when you've got a single Panther engine, maybe isn't the best idea. I have to say, those Cyclones have been very lucky with the missiles so far. Not obviously obviously the missile kills they've gotten against the YMFs, but primarily managing to avoid deaths of their own. More missiles go flying. Valentina Kerman once again pulling hard around. Yeah, so maybe a bit of bad luck. That was very close. A little too tail on once again. You can't let up with the throttle there. That's fatal. Just as the other YMF gets creamed. Valentina loses quite a lot of stuff. That's going to make this very difficult to control. It's not stable either. It's lost its tail fin. Another missile sees it stripped of its engines. Yet another missile sees it stripped of absolutely everything else. I haven't checked. A lot of them I haven't checked on the center of mass, center of lift balance, but this one I did. It's one of the early craft I was checking, and yeah. You have a new subscriber, obviously me. Well, good to have you aboard, Frederico. Let's just check. 730 subscribers when I last updated this. 732. Thank you for subscribing. Good to have you aboard. Lovely stuff. Let's just bring up KSP again. And no point in wasting any time. Let's just get straight on with this. I just want to see when each craft takes off. That should give us an indication of the, yeah, thrust to weight. I'd be very interested to see how these craft got on with if they replaced that Panther with a Saturn, and maybe did a little bit more. Maybe a little bit of rebalancing around the fact that the engine has changed. But apart from that, I like this craft. I do like this craft. I think if I feel a craft has been unlucky, I tend to get quite fond of it, and this is certainly one of those craft. As I said, the Cyclones have gotten very lucky with dodging the missiles. Rustico! Oh, and that is what the YMFs would have been hoping for. One of the Cyclones taken out by a missile. If both YMFs can sort of avoid this current volley, then I think that that Cyclone is in trouble. Richmore Kerman is the craft that the Cyclone has in its sights. I think. Oh no, it's having to just break off, just to avoid missiles. It's a barrage from the YMF ones now. Will it be able to hold up? No, it will not. That YMF avoids those two missiles. So Thunderbird, your craft is not left empty-handed. A nice little craft, as I said, fond of it. I think it was perhaps a little unlucky in those fights, but did manage to show that it's something of its capabilities towards the end there. Scrolling through all these save files. Onto our third craft. The FA3 Wyvern by Rai the Science Guy. Rai's normally in here. Has anyone seen him? He's in the Discord. I don't suppose someone would be kind enough to give him a nudge. Where are you? Not doing anything at the moment. FA3 Wyvern. Right, so what is our third craft for today? As I said, the FA3 Wyvern by Rai the Science Guy, who has this time taken the trouble to put a battery on his craft. An interesting looking craft. I'm assuming these are, yes, both Saturns. The wing-mounted Vulcans, 4 AMRAAMs, 2 Sidewinders, What's the guard menu set up? Just one missile per target for this craft. That might be enough. We'll have to see. Looks like a high-speed bomber. This is actually, by the looks of it, this is the craft that one of our streams helped design a little while ago when I was doing the mailbag streams. I think this is one we took a look at and gave some constructive criticism. Come to Craft Showcase. I just finished my A10. Ooh. For those of you who don't know, Spacey Boy has been working on an A10, and on the and on the Discord has been showing it off in the FAS discussion. I mean, it should be in the Craft Showcase, but I think I'll let that slide. Rai. Any other thoughts on this craft, guys? Just before we get it all going. And we are going to F5 it there. Hey, just in time! Right, so Rai is here, so let's get this going. Do you have no ECM jammers? Good stuff. Because they are a pain in the ass. I'm already like, oh, that was not good news. We're going to have to start this again. I'm just enjoying the show. Oh dear. I'll just make sure they're pointed a little further apart, I think. Tactical boop. Yeah, not that tactical a boop this time. That really hurt. Ah, dear. Right, you're pointing like that. How are you? If I can just get you just to point a little further over there. Good stuff. I'm just going to re-F5 that, and we'll get this one going again. Okay. You two behave yourselves. Ooh, was a little close for comfort. Okay. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Eyeing them suspiciously. I think we're good. Okay, pulling hard around. Hasn't managed to get missiles away. That's not good news. Does have the... Now it gets missiles away. Does have the engine power to get out of any real trouble. We'll have to use it wisely. There's no good... Having said that, just as the first of them gets taken out by a missile. Not quite what I meant. Valentina Kerbal trying to dodge these two missiles incoming. Both go past the tail. More coming in. More and more and more missiles coming in. And unless Valentina Kerbal can do something to try and even this one up, it might not be good news for them in this first fight. Gunfire coming in now. This craft, it's getting very close, and that looks like a Sidewinder. Straight into the rear end. Misses. And Valentina Kerbal will fall to a watery grave. But not before we intervene to to savour the hassle. I'm getting notifications. What am I getting notifications on? Nothing really. Just wait for this to reload. Sidewinder up your tailpipe. Lovely. Okay. Are you two still pointing away from each other? Good stuff. Aircraft in this competition are expected to show an appropriate level of affection to each other. Any more than we'd have to step in and intervene and reload. That was always the highly ambiguous phrase they used when during school discos at my secondary school. It was like pupils were expected to show an appropriate level of affection to each other. Which basically meant snogging's okay, but if you get too hot and heavy, one of the teachers is going to come up and just go, cool it. I might have isolated these ailerons to just roll. I think they're trying to pitch up, and I'm not sure that's doing them much good at the moment. Explosions everywhere, none of them fatal for the Wyverns at the moment though. Richmill, still loads of missiles coming in, dodging them pretty successfully. Oh, the other Wyvern's gone into the sea. That is a turn-up for the books. I was not expecting that. More missiles coming in. Oh, that one just got a bit too close, and that second one got very, very close indeed. Let's load that up again. Be the way on the debug menu, you will see who is targeting who. Yes, tomorrow's stream chat if you want to see my A10 in action. I'm also doing dogfights, but with Viggens, A10s, and F16s, and I'm having fun. Yeah, it is Lone Wolf. I don't think I've said hello to you. Hello, Lone Wolf. Yeah, this is generally a lot of fun. A10s, most fun thing for an A10. Just go around the KSC blowing stuff up. Genuinely, I could spend hours doing that. So I think this is, if these two are appropriately positioned, I think we'll follow in with the Cyclones on this fight to see what it's like from their perspective. Sorry, noise coming from outside. I hope you can't pick up on that. I do like these craft. As I said, the first proper fighter I ever really tried to design, and it, yeah, still a good all-rounder, I think. 17 current viewers, 10 likes. Thank you very much, everybody, for that. Oh, they are getting quite loud. Tell me if you can hear them. I'll shut the windows. 2 missiles away. Yeah, I think with that little aileron issue there, the Wyverns might be struggling to turn, and that's making it difficult for them to get missiles away, although one of the Wyverns certainly has, and Jebediah is having to brake low to avoid those two. Nobody killed on that first volley. Congratulations on landing the A-10. Missiles back and forth. Jebediah Kerman still trying to lay it into those Wyverns. Still nothing doing. Missiles go flying in there. Looks like the Wyverns managed to avoid though. Sidewinder's armed. This is a difficult range to avoid those. That could be the last thing that wyvern sees. No! Manages to get away. Another one goes in. Now it's with the guns. I'm not sure if that was the guns or the Sidewinder, but whatever it is, it did the job. Now the last wyvern does dodge that missile. We'll have a slightly more difficult time dodging those guns. More missiles. Oh, it's a friendly fire kill. One of the cyclones just took out its own wingman. But then promptly takes out the wyvern. So the wyvern, that has to go down as a kill for the wyverns. So a little bit of excitement there towards the end. Rip that wyvern, yeah. That cyclone wanted all the glory and killed its partner. That's the problem with sidewinders occasionally. They just go for the biggest heat source. And if that's your teammate, then so be it. Right. Fourth fight for our wyverns. How will they do this time? If you've got any more comments on these craft, clearly I still have some refining to do. I think the one thing I would say is isolate these to just roll. Switch them off. Pitch and yaw. Oh, I was close again. Yeah, it's the hottest thing around. I can hold the straight side on, will pick a fight with the sun. Yes. And the competition starts. Turning around, will either of them get their missiles away? Valentina looks like she was getting close. Richmond Kerman, it looks like, did get some missiles away. Now Valentina gets one of hers own away. What's the guard menu? Yes, they're set up to just one per target. That sounded like an explosion. I think... Oh, that's debris, isn't it? One of the wyverns is a little bit damaged. Missing both its engines. Won't be able to pull out of that. I don't know why KSP did that there, but... Once again, one of the wyverns in a very tricky situation goes a little too face onto that missile. And that is that. So let's get on to the final fight before we move on to our next craft. What's the weather like where you are, everybody? I did ask earlier. I didn't see any replies. Are you melting the same as I am? Because this is just not funny. I think if it's like this next week, I'll be streaming in shorts. I think the beard probably isn't helping. I'm sort of, with just as the lockdown continues, I'm getting just more and more hobo-esque. Okay, let's get this final fight started. I am currently in Bournemouth on the south coast of England. Nice warm 19 degrees here. What's the weather like here? Let me just see if I can get 18 degrees. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so 60 degrees. It's around 18. Okay, it was a nice, pleasant, warm temperature. I think it's just this room, as I said, where I've got to shut the door, and the computer is. My computer is obviously working quite hard. Bless it. And it's basically, yeah, it's kicking out quite a lot of watts just into this raw heat at the moment. North East Coast is weird weather, it just snowed and now it's clear and nice. Spacey boy, you is that North East Coast Britain or America? Or even Canada? Or somewhere else? Let's not assume anything here. Okay, Valentina, come. I haven't got the vessel switcher up, have I? Okay, both craft seem to be okay for the moment. Maybe speaking too soon. Oh, those were very close. But it looks like both of the Wyverns survived those that volley. Just watching those missiles go into the other Wyvern. Fall over the Wyvern. That's a bit too close. There go the engines. And there goes Valentina's hope of avoiding any more missiles. Another one comes in. Does manage to get rid of that though. Popping plenty of countermeasures sees to that. This one might be a bit more difficult. Yeah, I thought so. Over to the other Wyvern, which is also popping a lot of countermeasures. Still managing to avoid those missiles. I say this though, that I'm thinking this craft isn't turning very far, but it's pulling quite a few Gs. I mean, it's not being lazy by any stretch of the imagination. It's a joust. I suspect the Cyclone will be able to pull round harder than the Wyvern. Yeah, it is able to pull quite a few Gs. So it's obviously not that unmanoeuvrable a craft. I think probably quite light as well, because it seems to be able to get up quite a fair lick of speed quite quickly. I think maybe max speed could be turned down a touch. Massachusetts. Looks like that Cyclone just avoided that missile just as Richmond managed to avoid taking one up the tailpipe. Coming in Vulcan, with Vulcan's hot. Oh, but the Cyclone was ready with its own little surprise. And that, I'm afraid, is the end of the Wyverns. As more missiles rain in, oh, that is brutal. Gunfire comes in. Okay. So onto our fourth craft. Most of my primary fighters need backwards intakes. It's 24 degrees. I'm in Virginia. It's like 45F. Jet, you haven't to try out Space Engineers. I haven't tried out Space Engineers. Who are you talking to? Sorry. Let's find the save game for the next craft. (24°C). That's warm. Little bit of trash talking going on in the comment section at the moment. Good, nice to see. Right, so our fourth craft for today is the JAS 69 Urnen. Yet another number 69 craft. JS 69 Urnen by Axel Strömgren. No prizes for guessing what rough part of the world we're looking at there. So I will just give you a look at the craft whilst I write out my little bits and pieces here. It's quite a stubby little thing almost, but it's an interesting one. So we want kills. Right, so let's get this ready to go. Excuse me. So what are we looking at here? We have got 6 AMRAMs, 4 Sidewinders, just the 1 Vulcan. This is the craft, by the way, I chose for the thumbnail stream because I thought it looked, well, it does look like an interesting craft. I'm not sure how many parts it is, but it's certainly giving my giving my frame rate a little bit of hassle. I say that for every fighter I see. Well, every fighter has its own charm. It is a bit stubby, isn't it? That's, be interested to see how this does in the competition. Okay, let's get this one going. Do you have any... no ECM jammers again? Good stuff. Excuse me. I do apologise. Just with all the ECM jammers and stuff, I'm this close to giving an honorary kill to any craft that doesn't have an ECM jammer. I won't, that'll be unfair, but it's tempting. Just unilaterally, so yeah, you get an extra point. Okay, so the competition starts, and the crafts start turning. Okay, 1 missile away. How many is this set up for? 2 missiles per target. Sorry, I just got a bit paranoid. Had to double check there weren't any ECM jammers. Richmond not too fussed about turning to dodge at the moment. Finally gets around to it. Gets around to it much too late. I don't know what was going on there. Valentina Kerman, I think, has been a bit more prescient about the need to dodge incoming missiles. Turns around. Gets one of her own away. I'm assuming she'll follow it up with a second, given that she's set up for 1 per target. That one doesn't hit the mark. Ah, that's one of the Cyclones taken out. That is one of the Cyclones taken. I don't know why this says unnamed. Because it isn't, that shouldn't be unnamed. It should be the JAS-69. Okay, it's 1 apiece. That happened quickly. I don't know what happened to that Cyclone. Obviously blasted out the air. But now a chance for the Urnen to... I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Urnen to show its gun skills. That is getting very close. What the hell happened there? It was popping chaff. It was popping a lot of chaff. Did that just get a missile just come up behind it and boom? Given that it was popping chaff and then exploded, I'll assume that was a missile that came in and thus is a legitimate kill. So that is a loss in the first fight for the Urnens. Take off the modular missile guidance. It's a BDA bug. Okay, we'll rerun that fight then.
Okay.
Oh, not you. What the hell are you doing? Google just came up. What's... What's the top search on Google Assistant at the moment? Is can you say OK Boomer? Oh, for God's sake, I didn't F5 it. Edit the craft. I'm going to have to edit the craft. Oh, crap. If you'll just bear with us, boys and girls. So presumably, where is the modular missile thingy? Because it's an external thing. I don't know where he's put any of it. I don't know if he's put the autopilot, the weapon manager. Yeah, please make your craft easier to edit, because this is going to be a nightmare once I get it into the space plane hangar. Take off the manager and it'll be fine. Where even is it? Okay, let's recover this vessel. There is some clipping. It's yes. Well, I mean, I don't mind if anyone wants to like clip in the things like the autopilot or the weapon manager, but it does make it a bit of a pain in the arse in this situation. Because we've now got to go hunting midstream for a part. Right. JAS. I've gone past it. There it was. Right, where are you, my little pretty? Okay, there's the ammo boxes. What are you? Hello. AI pilot flight computer. Ah, there you are. Surgery complete. Let's get back out there. We managed to find it pretty quickly. It's not a huge problem. I'm making a big boy bomber. I'm intrigued. How are we doing? So we're right, roughly an hour and 20. No, an hour and 20 minutes since I wanted to start the stream. About an hour and 15 since we actually started the stream. Okay, there we go. Let's get this positioned how I had it last time. Exactly where I had it. Didn't mean to do that, just meant to do that. And then spawn vessel. And Richmond Kerman normally goes alongside Valentina. Okay. Didn't take us too long. I do apologise for those of you getting bored. Modular missile manager is used for modular missiles, don't put it on a craft. Fair enough. Get you lined up. I think you want to be somewhere about there, was it? Yeah. Make sure you're lined up with the Cyclone. This is how anal I get about setting up craft when I'm doing the proper, like the proper fighter subscriber episodes. Place vessel there. We want brakes on for you. Brakes on for you. Yep. Okay, I think we're all good. Let's F5 that. Let's try this again. And F5. I did. We're all good. I did, didn't I? Sorry, there's a slight delay in the comments and you just leg lap panicking. F5, F5, F5. Ah, dear. Have I ever not learned from my mistakes? Don't answer that. Valentina and Richmond turn around, loose their volley of missiles. Braking low to avoid. Those two Saturns certainly giving them a lot of power. Those missiles still coming quite close though. They are getting a little, as I was saying, a little too close. Oh, you are going far too low. What are you thinking, man? Girl, whatever, you're dead. Okay. So not looking good for the Urnans at the moment. Missiles coming in. Richmond taking on both craft at once, but that's, as it turns out, was not a good use of his resources. Okay. Seen that happen too many times. Yeah. This little stubby has such potential. Poor little stubby. Is it just me or does that sound a little bit suspect? Okay. One fight down, let's get straight into the next one. Obviously, where they are quite stubby, the control surfaces won't get much leverage around the centre of mass. Oh. I didn't panic. I'm fine. Yeah. How are we doing for the range? 7 kilometres. Good, good. Okay, craft turning round to fight. Managing to pull quite a few Gs, but yeah, not ultra manoeuvrable. Is keeping the speed through the turn though, so that might work in its favour. Both craft now breaking off. Braking low. Perpendicular to those incoming missiles. Make sure they go well past your tail. Good stuff. Coming round. Launching a couple more. Distance is closing reasonably quickly. I'd be very interested to see how these actually do get on up close and personal now with the modular missile manager gone, but not with Valentina Kerman's craft, at least not this time. I think the other F-69 is okay. Valentina Kerman just still losing bits, still distracting one of the other Cyclones though, which may be to the other JAS-69's advantage. But no, they're both dead. What happened here? Did it just... I think despite all the clipping, it may have lost... It may have lost an auto... Well, it lost both its engines for starters. More missiles come in. Oh, Jebediah and Daffy feeling in a brutal mood today. Okay, on to the third fight for the JAS-69. How the other craft, just remind myself how the other craft have been getting on today. So the Riptide, 3 wins, 2 losses. YMF, 4 losses, 1 win. The Wyvern, 5 losses, but I think it might have been a bit unfortunate there. Did get a kill. So far, the JAS-69. It's a craft I had high hopes for, actually. And as we have been doing previously, we'll follow the Cyclones on this middle fight. No matter which craft I follow in, it appears they're determined to give me a scare. That was close again. Okay, 7 kilometers. Daffy Kerman, let's see what you've got. Both craft braking quite high. Jebediah gets over quicker. Daffy Kerman gets her missiles away. Both craft braking low to dodge. That missile comes in quite close. Oh, that's one of the JAS-69's gone already. Daffy and Jebediah turn around. Now the 69 is going to be getting a lot of attention. It's a little too tail onto those missiles, manages to survive for the moment. But that was surely a warning shot. You can't keep doing that. You need to be going at least a little bit perpendicular to the path of those missiles. Otherwise, it's curtains. Oh, that's just about manages to get the distance there. He's going for the sidewinders. Might be a little too far away for those sidewinders to be as effective as they could be. But I think the Cyclones are probably launching sidewinders themselves. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. And that's dead. Let's crack on. I like this craft. I like this craft a lot. It's just missing that little something, if you know what I mean. It's as you said, like this just, it's got a lot of potential, but it's just not coming together for it. My bomber just melted into the ocean after killing 4 tanks. Good stuff. That's the most KSB description of a battle I've ever heard. Okay, 4th fight. Let's get this going. The look, yeah, it looks nice. I do like those. I do like the way these tail fins have been done. And I suppose technically it's a. Ooh, I suppose technically it is a sort of a delta wing craft, but it's and they're pretty small delta wings. And it does have the additional wing surface here on the. It's almost like a cowling around the engines, around the fuel tanks and such. But it's maybe some balancing issues. Maybe needs more wing surface. Maybe just a little bit too stubby. And as I said, the control surfaces aren't positioned far enough from the centre of mass to really get that leverage, get the craft turned. Braking low, those are coming in quite close. But no cigar for the Cyclones. Oh, don't do this again. Okay, thank you. Yeah, braking a bit too low, that has cost the Urnans the opportunity to return a volley, and it appears that has now cost Richmal Kerman his life. I'm trying desperately hard not to say it's an interesting craft. That's a bit too close. That is far too close. I still have a kill I wrote down here after that first now scrapped fight, and they haven't managed to kill since. That kill was entirely legit. That kill was entirely legit. But if it's in a fight we've scrapped, the fight we've stricken from the record books, then yeah, we can't count it, I'm afraid. Okay. Okay, you Nordic beauties, can you salvage some pride with this one? I mean, how much fuel do these have? Reasonable amount. I'm just checking the control surfaces, see how this is, if it would be polite enough to stay still whilst it's trying to avoid death. Yeah, some interesting, seeing how these are isolated, yeah. I think I might have been a bit more judicious with the control surface specialization there, but about to say, but it seems to work for it, but maybe not. Okay, so the JAS-69s survive that first volley. Can Richmond get one of his own away? He can indeed. Again, this is another fight where the Cyclones have been very lucky with the missiles. That's a bit too close. Yeah. Richmore Kerman, your duty now is to provide a simple distraction to the Cyclones. Here they come. Still going. Still hopefully providing that distraction. As Valentina Kerman might get a chance to do her stuff. But it doesn't look like it. No, it looks like both of the Cyclones now have Valentina in their sights. As you can tell by those missiles that just don't go that far past her tail. Oh, this could be... AMRAAMs at this range, probably not going to do much damage. Sidewinders, on the other hand, are going to do that. Now, in with the guns. Oh, that is brutal. As one of the Cyclones goes flying past. A lot of trouble pulling out of those. Yeah, it's strange. You stick it to the modular mission, so that's guidance. Hello, Igor. How are you today? Good to see you. Right, so that is the worst performance by any craft. I think it's the worst performance by any craft yet in the preliminaries. But I have a very hard time saying they deserved it, because I just, as I said, there's something about that craft. It's just that little. It's lacking that little something, isn't it? Not meaning to bang on about it, but you know. Great, thanks. I'm good. I'm good. I am slowly just perspiring to death, but apart from that, fine. Let's see who's next for our 5th craft. And then, of course, Jove, you are our 6th craft. The Wyverns... No, the Wyverns managed to kill. And apart from the fight that got struck from the records, the JAS 69s did not. Who do we have here? This is the K2 Centurion by Titan RT. It's an interesting looking craft. It's got that sort of almost a delta wing, but it's also got obviously the tail plane. This is I took this up. It's what are you looking at? 6 AMRAAMs, 4 Sidewinders. Seems to be a standard armament. Got 3 Vulcans. I was surprised by how manoeuvrable this was. When I actually took it up for a test fight, I genuinely was. But let's get everything set up, and we will F5 before Naked Luck has a heart attack. Rightly so, to be fair. Let's get them into the air. Do the F... Oh, I see, yes. It's suggestions for Spacey Boy. Okay, so... No booping, tactical, friendly, romantic or otherwise. Do you have any... No, you do not have an ECM jammer. Missiles all on the back there. That's an interesting choice. Keeping it close to the centre though, keeping that angular moment. Keeping that angular momentum down, making sure it's easier to roll. Both craft breaking low. Oh, that's not looking good! I mean, I can see them popping countermeasures, so they've got countermeasures. I am not sure what happened there. It's avoiding those all right. I just was not expecting that to I was not expecting that to be hit by a missile like that. Loses both engines. Is now a sitting duck. Manages to get through it a little bit by popping some countermeasures, but sadly that doesn't keep you alive for very long. Guns rain in. Just a bit of target practice for the Cyclones now. Where's that Cyclone gone? Is it coming about? Oh, it's gone for missiles. Make a shuttle dogfight worthy. I have been thinking about doing a ridiculous craft challenge at some point, so flying tanks and that stuff. So a dogfight-worthy shuttle might get a look in if I do that. Yeah, that first death, I'm not sure quite what happened. I'll have to go watch that back. The first death of one of the Centurions. But anyway, let's get this second fight started. How much fuel are these things carrying? It's got a full load of fuel. That might not have been advisable. So it's quite a heavy craft at the moment. Getting a little close, but it seems to be all right. And we're losing a bit of light as well, so gonna be lights on time before too long. Craft turns about. You see, it doesn't have any trouble there. That turned beautifully. I mean, the large wing area does help with that, but then that does make you a larger target. Does also mean you slow down more in the turn. Both Centurions have their missiles away though, breaking low. Missiles coming in. No kills either side in that first volley. Centurion, Richmal Kerman getting the second volley away. Cyclones. The recent fights, they have been very lucky with with dodging the missiles. The Cyclones. Now it's time to see if those were close. Time to see if that luck lasts. Still no kills. I'm assuming no kills. How's the other Centurion getting on? Yep, everybody's doing fine. Valentina Kerman closing the distance. Maybe we'll see some guns. A quick burst on the trigger, followed by a longer burst. Does get a bit of damage. It looks like it might just have been scorched. Oh, but that's the Centurion done for. Daffy Kerman gets scorched by one of the Centurions, but her wingman comes in to her rescue. Those are Sidewinders heading for this Centurion, and that's not good news at this range. Does manage to avoid, though. Not for too much longer. bits of wing just go falling to the ground. How are we looking? Oh, hang on. Where are we? We need a cartoon fighter fight. Should be that now. Sashi Kasawani, hello sir to you. KSP multiplayer, not me. Immediate summary mods have been deleted from this old site. Could you, Eagle, could you send me an email? I'll see what I can do for you. My FS plane is legally a flying tank without armour. The Riptide made it in. The Riptide did make it in. It is currently this Preliminary's most successful fighter of the 4 fighters we've seen all the fights of. It was 3 wins and 2 losses with 6 kills and 5 deaths. Let's reload this one. By the way, guys, just something I mentioned in on Discord. I have set up a PayPal tips jar. As I said there as well, that's right, I am whoring myself out for money already. So if you'd like to maybe make a small contribution to the upkeep of the channel, just so I can make sure I'm up to date with games and DLC, and hopefully start saving for a new SSD, because yeah, half a terabyte isn't really cutting it anymore. So just it's out there. The link is on the about section of the channel. I'll start putting the link in the link on the end of the videos. Just if you want to, of course. And please make sure it's not too much. I don't want large donations. Hang on. I'm enjoying designing stuff for these close range maps. It's a big difference until now, just for high altitudes. Yeah, it's a big difference between the high altitude and the low altitude stuff. Right, we've done 2 fights. So this middle fight, as I've been doing with previous fights, we will follow the Cyclones and see what Jebediah and Daffy make of the whole situation. Still fond of these craft. Still very fond of these craft. Okay, that wasn't too close. They've decided to stop scaring me. So the Cyclones have currently won 12 fights on the bounce. I know they're my own craft, but I really would like to see that run ended soon, because this is just going to get quite dull otherwise. I like these Centurions. I did like them when I test flew them. I looked at them, I thought they're not going to be very manoeuvrable, and I started flying them and thought, oh, actually, yes they are. Still no kills on this this first volley. Missiles going very close. No cigar. Jebediah Kerman comes around. Loses another 2 AMRAAMs. The Centurions I don't think have launched a reply. This one certainly hasn't just yet. Those 2 missiles don't seem to have done anything. Jebediah has to break off. Missiles coming back the other way, I assume. No, it's gunfire. Jebediah Kerman has some gunfire incoming. And that Centurion will surely be able to close the distance with its Saturn engines. Manages to get a missile away. I think that Centurion is having to break off for a missile as well. And now it's advantage Jebediah, closing the distance. That Centurion is still quite a distance away. Switches to the Sidewinders. I assume he's out of AMRAAMs. Yep. Oh, and that's the Centurion down. Now it's Jebediah's turn to... Oh, simultaneous kills! I think Daffy Kerman just took out one of the Centurions and Jebediah Kerman. That was spectacular. Daffy Kerman really not wanting Jebediah to have all of the glory there. That was bizarre. Goddamn quarantine out. No, it's no worry. No worry. I'm not saying please send women. I'm just saying if you feel like it, Igor. Can I submit something right now? Arctifier. I was expecting. Kidding. Dead on. It's been and gone. Submission, but the craft showcase on Discord is a good place. Yes. If you want to just send us your craft, and I'm sure once we because once the preliminary live streams are out of the way, we will be getting back to normal stuff, which will be just be looking at subscriber craft. Oh, it's gone very dark. I'm going to switch the light on. Right, fourth fight for the Centurions. Let's get this one going. It's not the one I wanted to click on, that's the one I wanted to click on. Now, I've sort of been, with previous craft, I've sort of been disappointed with the performance in the fights. I think this is the first one where I'm really surprised by the performance in the fights. Quite good for attacking things. All A10s are good for attacking things. And there's the fight starting. Maybe losing a bit too much speed in the turn, though. I think that might be the source of some of its problems. As I said, just with that huge wing area. Richmore Kerman breaking low. Popping countermeasures should see those missiles just go well past his tail, and they do. More coming in. Same story there, though. Turns around, does manage to get a missile away before starting the same old dance. Pulls around. That was a slightly risky maneuver. I think that was to get a missile away, but he doesn't really manage it. Pulls around. Does manage it this time. I think Valentina Kerman over there has somewhat distracted the Cyclones. Not entirely, though. Richmond Kerman still has a missile coming in. Does manage to avoid quite efficiently this time. Well outside of the action at the moment. Richmond Kerman, but should be closing the gap. Launches that missile at long last. This could be problematic. It's a bit too tail on. Doesn't suffer from it for the first missile. Does cause problems. Oh! But the Centurion has managed to take out one of the Cyclones. It's one-on-one. Daffy Kerman having to break off. Pop countermeasures. I think that's a little far away for the... I'm assuming that's a Sidewinder. I think that's a little far away for the Sidewinders to be effective. Does Valentina Kerman have any more left, though? One Sidewinder left. Having to pop countermeasures herself, but the Sidewinders... Ah... Once again, the Sidewinders proving their worth at close range. It's now 14 fights on the trot for the Cyclones. Daffy Kerman showing off a little bit there. Daffy Kerman also having just the one Sidewinder remaining. So one final fight now with our penultimate craft. The stream chat has taken a turn for the more tasteful, shall we say. How are we doing? Okay, so we've been going... stream's been going an hour and 50 minutes, roughly. Or about an hour and 55 since I should have started, but was having internet connection difficulties. So this one final fight, and then we'll be on to our final craft of this evening, courtesy of Jove. Can these Centurions salvage something for Titan RT? If you're watching Titan, I think, you know, maybe you don't need quite that much fuel. Certainly a little bit less fuel on there would strip down the weight. It would mean your craft don't need quite as much lift to turn, don't produce quite so much drag, would maintain more speed through the turn, would accelerate quicker anyway just because of the lower mass, so maybe that is a tweaking. Both craft do get their volley away though. Valentina Kerman breaking low. That's coming a bit close. Oh dear. Craft did seem... It didn't seem to be popping many countermeasures there. I'm not sure if there's a slight design issue there, but Richmal Kerman now breaking low. Getting a bit too tail on there. That could have been problematic. Again, a bit too tail on there. And pays the price. Pays the ultimate price. That's a shame. Again, like the JAS 69, it's a craft that's just... I genuinely did not think would do anywhere near that badly. Let's load a save. Let's see what we have. Let's bring up our final craft of today. Okay, PayPal officially sucks balls. That's PayPal for you. Oh, I'm now nervous about my craft. Well, if there's any consolation for you, Jove, in terms of how the craft today have done against the Cyclones, the bar has been set a touch lower than it was last week, so there's always that. But I mean, this is why I wanted to do at least 2 preliminaries before I started doing the actual proper fights, because then it gave me a chance to get a broader idea of the competition. For those of you who weren't here when I said it earlier, Titan RT, you're here. Good to see you. Yeah, unfortunately, my Cyclones have been doing very well this week, and yeah. I'm afraid you are the latest to fall victim to this. Now we have the LF-15, a craft that does have an ECM jammer this time. So I will get this started. we will F5, we will quick save. So yeah, an interesting looking craft, sort of almost in the vein of that very distinctive French fighter jet, the Rafale and the Mirage, but obviously with Jove's own distinct take on it. I'm just going to start making notes here. F15. So comments and thoughts, please. I love the craft, Titan. By the way, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to fly earlier, but unfortunately it didn't have a good run of it. Let's get this going. ECM jammers come on automatically. I know some people tie them to the gear. Not this time, it looks like. Okay, let's just see if we turn them on ourselves. Electric charge doesn't seem to like that. I'll turn them on when the fight starts. Yeah, we've been having a bit of a discussion today about batteries and electric charge and ECM jammers, because yeah, they've been causing a bit of a problem. I think this is taking long to start because yeah, the other LF-15 was having difficulty getting into position. Here we go. First fight for our final fighter. Richmal Kerman pops some missiles and then starts to break low to avoid the missiles coming in. Looks like both Cyclones gunning for Richmal Kerman. That might allow Valentina to sort of start closing the distance, and hopefully that is one of the Cyclones gone. It is advantage LF-15 this early. 2 more missiles. Daffy Kerman is in a bad way already. That is... Here comes the ground. That is a spectacularly quick win, which unceremoniously ends the Cyclones' streak of 15 wins on the trot, and not before time. Just give it a second, guys. It's... I don't know what it is. The longer you have KSP loaded, the slower and slower it seems to get, or I'm not just sure if that's... Maybe that's just my computer. I hope that wasn't luck. Well, we'll soon find out. Right, so... let's go for round number 2. And we'll need this up so I can sort out that ECM jammer. The one decision we have come to today is that I won't be turning on infinite electricity for people. I might, you know, if I'm feeling kind, I'll be feeling kind. I'll give your ECM jammer a nudge on. Ooh, spinning out. That was unusual. Was that what caused? Is that what's causing Richmal Kerman's craft to lag behind the other one? I don't know if that's something to do with the takeoff. I mean, it doesn't seem to have done the craft too much harm, given the result last time. But we'll have to see. That was weird. I'm just going to stick with Richmore for the moment. No, because I think, wasn't it last time, was it Richmore that whose craft was okay? I can't remember. But the Cyclones seem to have split their attentions evenly. Richmore Kerman coming around to launch his second volley. Gets the one away. Hasn't gotten a second away just yet. Is set up for 2 missiles per target. Gets the second away, one away now. Was that another missile hitting missile? I don't know. Cyclone there, had a missile coming very close. Seems to have dodged it though. The LF-15's a little split apart at the moment. Not terribly so. But it looks like we might be getting into gun range over here before too long. Richmore Kerman has switched to the Sidewinders. It might be a little too early for those. I'm just going to switch back to the other LF-15. Valentina Kerman. Valentina Kerman gets a face full of Sidewinder. Okay, and that is not quite such good news for the LF-15s as Valentina Kerman will be meeting the ground shortly. Richmore Kerman. Yeah, this is far from ideal. That is very, very, very far from ideal. Oh, but Richmore Kerman does manage to take out one of the Cyclones with virtually his last action of the fight. Stunning stuff. A cloud of debris. So on to the third fight. Not all bad, Jove. Not all bad at all. So 1 win, 1 loss, 3 kills, 2 deaths. So on to the third fight. Yeah, okay. Because I need to switch on the ECM jammers, we'll take off with the LF-15s, but then we'll switch to the Cyclones to take a look at their point of view. If this game ever gets its arse in gear. Okay. Right. Over to the LF-15s. Let's get this going. It was interesting, the Cyclones seem to take off first. How much fuel have you... Oh, that's quite a lot of fuel there, Jove. But I mean, the craft doesn't seem to be suffering too much from it, and some of those 3v3s can go a long time, so maybe a lot of fuel isn't all bad, but... And this is something I was thinking about the other day. I will be getting a bit stricter about craft to run out of fuel, because I noticed there's a big variation in the amount of fuel people are loading their craft with on the submissions I've had so far. So it's very much a design choice, and so I'm going to be less shy about allowing that to be the deciding factor in a fight. A little less reticent about that. Okay. I did say I was going to switch and see this from the Cyclone's point of view, so we will do that. Jebediah Kerman breaking low. Missiles coming in. Yeah, popping chaff, perpendicular to the path of the missile. Sees those missiles go well past his tail. Few explosions there. I'm assuming no harm's been done to the other Cyclone, which is over there. That looks like that other cyclone is taking a bit of a beating. Oh, it is taking a hell of a beating. And that looks like the same has happened to one of the LF-15s. We're down to one-on-one again. Richmal Kerman tries in desperation to fire a missile. I don't think that's going to do anything. Richmal has managed to distract that last remaining cyclone. May have done his wingman some favours there. But we are down to the last two craft. It's one-on-one. Missiles coming in for that LF-15. Nothing doing this time around. Jebediah lines up the Sidewinders. Is that a little too close? He does seem to have the LF-15 on the ropes. It's a joust. Nothing comes of it. That LF-15 does not appear to be badly injured. Does appear to be horrifically injured. Oh, this would be something if the LF-15 could actually get some kind of kill. You've still got two Sidewinders. This is like the perfect range for them. Oh, that is so sad. I honestly thought Valentina Kerman was about to just open several cans of whoop-ass on that cyclone, and then oh dear. This really has slowed down. He's in the fight. What's that referring to, Legged Lack? Sorry, I missed the context there. Right, so we're getting so close to the end now. The LF-15's a strong early start, but yeah, can they bounce back from those two losses? Lost 2-1-1, although they have killed as many as they've taken in deaths. So yet again, Richmal Kerman's LF-15 just spinning out as it performed that manoeuvre there. Might be a slight inherent stability in the craft. Might be something that needs looking at. Let's wait for them to get in position then. And arm those ECM jammers. There we go. Okay, over they go. Richmal Kerman. Launches 1, launches 2. Popping countermeasures. Oh, Richmal Kerman spins out. It's a very good thing he didn't do that about 10 seconds earlier. Manages to get it back under control. Gets a missile away. And now has 2 coming into dodge. manages to dodge them quite happily, gets another missile away. Valentina Kerman, how are you doing? Oh, it's breaking low. That doesn't give her a lot of room to manoeuvre, but does manage to get away from that missile there. Missiles coming in. That might be a bit too close. It is very much too close. Valentina Kerman is going to try and soldier on, but I don't think that's going to do much good. And oh dear, Richmal Kerman is doing even worse. Missile coming in. My mouse has just run out of battery. Game over, man. Game over. I will be doing. If you know, once we get over 1,000 subscribers, and if people want to do it, I will be doing a Patreon for regular contributions. I'm just, you know, as I said, the PayPal's just there. If people, you know, just as a tips jar almost. Let's get this loading. Whilst I struggle with this. There we go. Okay, and we're working again. I need to plug that back in. The tip jar is closed tight. That's I'll look at that. Yeah, if I get people who if I get I think once we get over 1,000 subscribers, I'll look at opening up some options as to how people can support the channel. At the moment, that's why I just wanted to set up a little tip, as I said, the tips jar to start with. Let's get this final fight underway for the moment. Where are we? So, yeah, let's get them into the air. Because PayPal, oh, it's from your side, fair enough. As I said, wow, that was... Let's just check on Richmal Kerman, because Richmal Kerman's craft that's been sort of acting out. Let's see what manoeuvre it is that exactly causes it to flip out. Okay, pulls in. Oh, it's not going to do it this time, is it? Kind of typical. Hello, Mike. I've set up a PayPal tips jar. I'll hang on. Oh no, it's not the right time. Really, not the right time. We'll sort that in a second once this fight's over. Valentina Kerman launches all her missiles. Sorry, 2 missiles, not all the missiles. That would be a bit excessive in that first go. Breaking low. Dodging the missiles. Yep, successfully dodged. How is this doing comparatively? 1, 2... Yeah, Jove, you are already the 2nd most successful craft today. So yeah, the Cyclone's having a bit of a stormer this week. Valentina already within gun range, but having to dodge a bit more. Oh, that's close. Not quite close enough, but that was a scare. But now Valentina is loosing the sidewinders. I think it might be a little too far away for those to work their spectacular destructive magic, but you never know. This is more the kind of range. That could be very bad news for that cyclone. We'll have to see. Oh, gets a hit. As Valentina manages to avoid one coming in herself. Oh, something's just... One of the LF-15s is out. This cyclone is effectively out. Does manage to... Jebediah loses his last 2 missiles. Oh, but the other cyclone is gone. Jesus, how do you call this one? How do you call this one? Now Jebediah's craft loses the energy and can do nothing but smash into the ocean, for which she's deployed the landing gear. I think just because it stayed in the air longer because it was less damaged. And that I think I am gonna have to give that. I think I am going to have to give that to the Cyclones. Regrettably, I was so tempted to say, well, let's go through that again. But I think if I'm honest with myself, I think I should give that to the Cyclones. As I said, that still makes you the second most successful craft today. That makes your craft the second most successful craft today, Jove. 3 craft on no wins and 5 losses. 2 craft, the LF-15 and the YMF-1 on 1 win and 4 losses, although you did manage more kills. And of course we had the Riptide on 3 wins and 2 losses with 6 kills and 5 deaths. So yes, yes, I said about tip jar. I'm new to this, so there is the tip jar. If any landing you can swim away from in this case. So I'm just trying to catch up with the with the chat. Yeah, so that's the channel tip jar. Yeah, but that last sidewinder was just troll. There's been some good fights. There's been some good fights today. And some, excuse me for saying it again, some interesting craft, some good-looking craft, some craft that I thought would do a lot better than they did. I genuinely thought they would do a lot better than they did. But apart from that, I just wanted to say, actually briefly, big thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel recently, because the channel has been going absolutely nuts. I mean, let's just I'm just going to bring up. This is the analytics. 887 in the last 48 hours. Earlier, I think either this month or late last month, this went over 1,000 for the first time, which is just ridiculous. And yeah, Things like, let's bring up the social blade. Yep, 104 subscribers for the last 30 days, which is just unbelievable. So thank you very much for that, everybody. That's been absolutely fantastic. I don't mean this will get me any further, but glad I did as good as I hoped I would. Yeah, it's just gone crazy. As I said, I measure it in sort of months since I actually posted that first video. So we're currently in the 23rd month, which ends on the 15th of May, and that we're currently 89 subscribers for that period. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. So it's going a bit nuts. It's good content. Thank you very much. I try to make it at least passable. But yes, let's bring this back up. I think this is a nice little scene to leave it on. But unless there's anything else people want to see, then I will call it there, because I think my wife would like to go out for a little bit of daily exercise before 10 o'clock hits, and I should do, really. So as I said, unless there's anything further, we will leave it there. Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much for everybody who sent in a craft. Next time, another 6 craft. I do have to get on at some people because their craft need adjusting, and I need to go through my NMB mod and nerf everything. Because I did say I'd allow NMB for this series, but I would nerf the mod, which means I now have to go through and nerf the mod. So that was clever of me. I get a feeling for future series NMB won't be allowed. But we will have to see. I do have some stuff to say in the Discord. Because the channel's second birthday isn't too far away, so I would like some ideas for that. I haven't decided yet. Genuinely have not decided. I mean, I had 8 craft. For today, I drew up a list of 8 craft. Turns out 4 of them weren't any good and needed some work. So I had to get 2 more craft, and that's who made up the 6 for today. So it's as I said, it's all a bit fluid at the moment, but I will have to get on to some people to say this craft needs some adjusting. ST the Patreon, and we will buy you presents. Oh, bless you. Anyway, yes, I should get going, just so me and my wife can go for a quick walk before night time really hits. Yes, thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for the craft. I will be seeing you next week, if all goes to plan. I hope you have a very good evening, a very good week, and yes, for now, yes, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.